Hi, it's Lori from Coast to Coast Craft Girls, coming to you from the West Coast. Today I wanted to share a TriFold birthday card that I made. The thing I like about it is when you open it up, it still looks pretty from the back side. So I'll show you how to do that. So you got this nice cut in the front. You got a nice shaker element in the middle with some balloons. Again, look pretty from both sides, and our happy birthday on the back. And you can fold it that way, or if you wanted to do it this way with the shaker element on the front, you could do that. I decided to do it this way just because. So let me show you how it's made. All right, so we're going to start with our card base. It's a trifold card, and it's 5.5 inches square. So this piece is 5.5 inches. This one square. This one is 5.5 by 6, and I just kind of scored at 1/2 inch, and I've got 2 of those, one for each side. And I just kind of put a light pencil line right down the middle of each of these 2. And you'll see why in a minute. So these are going to go one on each side, and then here, and they'll overlap just like that. Okay? So I'm going to cut my aperture. Now I have to cut an aperture in each of these, but the front one has a die cut into it. It's not just a circle aperture. And so I'm going to cut that one first, and then I'll cut the second one, which is just a regular circle aperture. So for this one, I've got, this die is from Crafter's Companion. It's one of the, I think they were called pop-out dies, and it's a birthday one. And you'll see what it looks like in a second. And then I've got circle nesting dies, and I've got 2 of them. So this is a 4-inch, and this is one smaller than that. So about a 1/4 inch smaller. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my plates. I want to get my circle right in the center, as close to the center as possible, and then I'll put this die in. And I'm just putting that on there so that I can get this centered. And then I'm going to take that die away because I just want to cut into the card. Okay, so I've got my circle in there, and I'm going to cut my aperture, get my aperture die in there, and just kind of make it straight and center it up so that you have, even all the way around. Then I'm going to take that off because I just want to cut into that cardstock. Okay, and there's my aperture in the front. Now I want to cut my matte layer, and I've got these matte layers already cut to just about 5.25 inch. And I'm going to use my circle nesting die, and I want to get this in just the right spot. And I need to cut 2 of them because this one, I want one for the front and one for the inside. So hold on to that. I'm going to put one this way. Looks pretty good. Now let's see how close I came. Yeah, that looks good. That one's going to go on the back side, just like that. Now what I did is I cut the same die with this circle nesting die around it. So this die with this die in silver once, and I cut them this way. So I've got one facing one way and one facing the other way because I want to put these, I'm going to put these back to back right over the top of the white so that it looks, so that you can't see it. And so that's why you cut one from the front and one from the back, so that they'll line up perfectly. And then you have silver on both sides, so it looks pretty from both sides. So that's ready to go. I'm just going to glue that up in a minute. But before I do that, I've got my second piece of paper. And for that one, I'm going to take the smaller of the nesting dies, and I want to cut the smaller of the nesting die because I just want a regular aperture. And for that, I'm going to go ahead and put my cards. Well, no, I'll cut this first. So we're going to put that on in the middle, and I'm going to go ahead and, again, measure it. It's just about 1 inch. And this creates my aperture for the other side. And I didn't want the cut in, I just wanted that see-through. But I do have my matte layers. So these need to go on here like this. And I'm going to get them lined up. And then I'm going to get my card in there. I'm going to line this up as if it was, I know it's hard for you to see, but I'm just kind of peeking under the corners to see if it's about where it would be. And then I'm going to put the die in place. Looks good. And if you just kind of lift up each corner and look, you can kind of see that looks pretty good. And I have to remember, those go that way. I'm going to go ahead and put my matte layers on here, I think. And I don't know if you can see, but I got a little bit of glue on when I pressed it down on my mirror card. And so I just took a Kleenex with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. Okay, so there's one layer of my card. Okay, so that's going to go on this way. Then this layer is going to go on that way. So I've got a matte layer for this. Now for this piece, I cut the 2 circle nesting dies together, and I cut them in silver and in white, and I glued them together. So that gives it a little more strength. Okay. And then I took the larger of the nesting dies and I cut 2 pieces of acetate. I'm going to attach these to the acetate. And then I'm going to put some foam in between, and I think I'm going to put some, I'm going to make it a shaker. Okay, then we're just going to flip this over, put it right on top. created our shaker element, just like that. And that's going to go right onto here. So I'm going to glue this onto this side. So that's why I didn't really need to put that silver one on there. I could have just left it white and used the silver one on the back side, but because I wasn't planning on doing a shaker element, I went ahead and put the silver and the white together. And so now I'm going to waste that silver mirror circle by gluing it onto cardstock, but that's okay. So we're just going to center that up, glue that down. And then on this side, I'm just going to put my silver frame around the aperture just to kind of finish that off. Now, before I put that on my card, on the top of that acetate, I've got some balloons, and I cut them in this kind of iridescent mirror card, and I cut, it's a die, it's a Crafter's Companion die that looks like this, and so it cuts the 3 balloons, and so I've got, you know, 2 sets of them. I ran out of cards, so that's why this one, the strings are kind of messed up. So I'm not sure, and I actually don't think I'm going to need both sets. And I cut the same die, but using that same technique. So I cut into the wrong side of the cardstock so that I could put it in exactly the same spot on the other side to cover up so that it looks good from both sides. So there's that one. Now I'm going to flip it over. Now see, I don't like the looks of that, so I've got this one, which was cut into the back, so now it's mirrored, and I can put it right over the top, and then it's going to look good from both sides. So this is the trick if you're putting stuff on a see-through card and you want it to look good from both sides, cut to get a mirror image. Unless your die is symmetrical, you want to cut one from the right side and one from the wrong side of the cardstock. And I'm going to put it right over the top of the other one so that from both sides you can't see the other one, but it looks nice from both sides. So there I've got my shaker element with my balloons. Now I'm ready to assemble my card. Now before I put that top piece on, I cut another of the silver circle with some, and then a circle of vellum. And I'm going to put that on the back of my card right behind. So when you open it up, or when you're looking through, you see you're looking through to the vellum. Now I don't want the vellum, I don't want glue on the vellum because it will show. So I'm just going to put just a tiny bit of glue around that circle, that frame. And to get it in the right spot, I'm actually going to set it on top of there. Okay. So it's right over the top. And then we're going to close my card that way, flip it over, and now it's right in the right spot. And I did this because I've got a sentiment that's going to go on there, and I just wanted to frame that sentiment, and then I've got another thing of balloons that I cut in the pink that I'm going to put in. But I'm going to frame that sentiment so that it shows through, okay? Just like that. And that circle of vellum, just the only reason I did it is to kind of go with to follow on with the theme of the circle, the silver circles. You don't need to put that on there. I just thought it was kind of a nice way to break up that background a little bit. And it just frames the sentiment, and I think it just goes with the rest of the card. Okay, so see how that looks? And now I'm going to add my shaker onto the front. Okay. And then you can fold it either this way or this way, whichever you prefer. So fun, such a fun birthday card. If you wanted to, and I might just do that, I might put a few little of these sequins on the front to kind of tie it all together. Yeah, there we go. I like that. All right, and we're all done. So our TriFold 5.5-inch square birthday card. So we open, and you got a nice view of the same die cut from both sides. And we got our nice shaker element with balloons, and then our happy birthday. And you can see through to the shaker element from the front. You can see the balloons. And then you open that up, and you can kind of see the birthday through as well. So, thanks for watching.